Thank you. We're back. I know that soaked in for a moment. I know that they had to get you. The woman of man. That's what woman is. And I do believe that one day men will have babies again. You never can tell. Nature can regress. Go back to what it did in the first place. Okay, now we're in Genesis again still. And we just found out that the part of man which the Lord God had taken from man, he made a woman and brought unto the man. And Adam said, this is now bones of my bones, flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. And now we're going to go to the third chapter. Because I've heard a lot of preachers say Satan is a liar and Satan lied. But actually he just captivates or takes advantage of the truth and of your weakness and of your emotions. Because when he told Adam and Eve, we're going to find out, did he lie or did he tell the truth? And now the serpent was the more subtle than all the beasts in the field, which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, God hath said, ye shall not eat of the tree in the garden, of every tree in the garden. And the woman said to the serpent, we may eat of the fruits of the tree of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, or you'll die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For God do know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as little g's, demigods, knowing good and evil. Do you know what the secret is of being coming of God is knowing good and evil? If you're God, you know good and evil. You just don't do the evil because you're creating your world. That's what gods know. People that's not gods don't know when they think evil thoughts and wish stuff on people and cause things to happen. They're creating their own world. That's what gods know. You become responsible for everything when you become a god. Adam and Eve was not responsible for anything. They knew no good and evil. Now they're becoming responsible. Pay attention. For God do know, this is the 5th verse. So God do know that the day they eat thereof, their eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, little g, G-O-D-S, knowing good and evil. I didn't write the Bible. You are gods. Now that you know good and evil. That's what Adam and Eve did for us. They opened our doggone eyes so we could see. And when the women saw that the tree, now she saw that the tree was good for food, and it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise. You're not going to stay dumb forever. If you're a kid, you don't expect your kid to act like a kid forever. God didn't never expect us to act like a kid forever. That's why he put the tree there. When we was matured enough, and when the serpent would come and tell you, then you would open your eyes. I mean, how could he be God if he didn't know all that in the beginning? Well, let us not go crazy. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband, and he did eat. And both of their eyes was open, and then they knew immediately they was naked. Sex came about immediately. Whether you Christians want to believe it or not, sex came about immediately. The serpent that was in the garden, which was Lilith, which they know already was the first god that was made, could transform himself from male to female. That's what gods can do. Both sexes in it. So not only did he teach Eve how to have sex, she taught Adam too. And so both of their eyes was open, and they knew they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves around themselves. That's the first tailors and seamstress, and made themselves aprons. Now they had smart enough to sew leaves around themselves, because they're wise now. They're gods. They can do anything again. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden, Adam and his wife, and hid themselves in the presence of the Lord amongst the trees of the garden. And the Lord God called unto Adam and said, Where art thou? And he said, I've heard the voice of the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou wert naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree wherefore I had commanded thee that thou should not eat? And the man said, The woman. Blame it on the woman. That's why men always want women to seduce them. You know, I get so tired of men wanting me to seduce them. They come to your house. They want you to undress them. They want you to be the one, the woman to be the one that they couldn't resist. But I tell you, a man that can't resist a woman could never be a God. Thank you. Let's take a break.